let us learn the first chapter, that is basics of goods and services tax. In this chapter, we will learn about basics of direct and indirect taxes, taxes that are subsumed into GST, and what is GST, as well as advantage and benefit of GST, and when GST was implemented in India. First, let us know what is the meaning of tax. This tax word was derived from a Latin word, that is a mandatory financial charge or some other type of levy imposed upon a taxpayer. So government gets various tax from the citizens of that country. In India, the Indian government collects the revenue tax from various persons who are liable to pay GST or income tax, whatever it may be. Okay, and how the government is using it? Government is using it for education, defense, agriculture, law and safety, railway, administration, public sector undertakings. For all these purposes, government need revenue. That is why government raises tax. Then, let us go back to what is direct tax and indirect tax. Then only we will learn more about GST. So direct tax, it is directly imposed on a taxpayer. Okay, for example, income tax, corporate tax, wealth tax, etc. So all these taxes have to be directly paid by the taxpayer. Then it cannot be shifted to someone else. If I am liable to pay income tax, if I am responsible to pay income tax, then I only want to pay it. I cannot tell some other person will pay it. So we cannot shift it. Then principle of ability to pay. See, rich persons has to pay more income tax. Poor persons can only pay low income tax, like that. So it is based upon the income of that person. Then example we had seen, income tax, corporate tax, wealth tax. So these are called direct taxes. Then what is indirect tax? Tax imposed on goods and services. See, income tax is charged directly on the income of a person. But GST, that is goods and services, that is an indirect tax. So it is levied directly on goods and services purchased. Then it is shifted to buyer and ultimately the consumer. We will see how it is shifted to consumer. Actually, when we consume any goods or services, we are responsible to pay tax, not the business person. We are paying to business person, and business person has to pay tax to the government. Then equally applicable to all. See, if a rich person goes, or if a poor person goes to a shop and they buy something, any goods or services, okay, they purchase any cake from a bakery, branded cake, or any rice, branded rice. So there are some exemptions also. So the same price they want to pay, the same tax they want to pay. Okay, so these are the examples of GST and customs duty are the examples of indirect tax. Okay, so this is the main differences between direct tax and indirect tax. Hope it is clear to you. Then let us come to taxes subsumed into GST. Okay, so the main principles adopted where it is should be directly related to goods and services. Okay, and it is already levied in the form of VAT, excise duty, like that. So all these taxes were subsumed into GST. Let us see one by one. Central excise duty. So it was earlier levied on manufacturing the goods. Okay, manufacturers were paying this duty, and this tax was subsumed into GST, as well as all these additional duties, that is medicinal and toilet preparations duties of excise, textiles and textile products additional duties of excise, then goods of special importance additional duties of excise, commonly known as CVD, additional duties of customs. See, if you take customs, you please note down, basic customs duty is not subsumed into GST. Only additional duties like countervailing duty. Okay, only additional duties were subsumed into GST. Then special additional duties of customs, so special additional duty. Then service tax. Before that, for what purpose customs duty is charged? It is charged on imports and exports. Okay. Then service tax, which was levied on services like transportation, okay, or audit fees, business consultancy, whatever it may be. Okay. So these all taxes were subsumed into GST. Then central surcharges and cesses related to supply of goods and services. So are you clear? These taxes were earlier governed by central government, not by state government. So these taxes were subsumed. Then states and union territories were levying various taxes like state VAT, central sales tax, luxury tax, entry tax, entertainment and amusement tax, taxes on advertisement, purchase tax, tax on lotteries, betting and gambling. All these different types of taxes were levied by the state governments. So all these taxes were subsumed into GST. I think it is clear to you. Then let us see which are the taxes which were not covered in GST, which are not subsumed into GST. Okay. You can say all indirect taxes were subsumed into GST. No. Only the above taxes were subsumed and not these taxes. Okay. So it include customs duty first. Only countervailing duty and special additional duty was subsumed into GST. Not basic customs duty. Basic customs duty is still there. Then stamp duty. If you purchase any property, stamp duty will be applicable. It is not subsumed. Then vehicle tax. If you purchase any vehicle, you have to pay vehicle tax. It is also not subsumed into GST. Then excise on liquor. States will have their own beverages, like etc. So when they are selling this alcohol, liquor through these shops, the customers will be paying the price, and that tax goes directly to the state government. Okay. Then tax on sale and consumption of electricity. Okay. So there is no subsuming of electricity charges or tax on electricity to GST. Then entry taxes and toll. So it is still governing by state governments. Then entertainment tax. Like if you go to theater, so the theaters has to pay local taxes to the municipalities or corporations like that, the local bodies. It is not subsumed into GST. Then road tax. Okay, so road tax is also not subsumed into GST. So all these taxes are still there. Then what is GST? You can read it. Various features are included. Let us understand a single concept. Okay. See, if a customer goes to a shop, he will pay the tax to the business. How? The customer has to pay the price. So the price will contain tax, GST. And that GST component has to be paid to the government by the business. Okay, so business person has to collect the tax from the customers, and that tax they have to remit to government. Then benefit of the country, benefit for the country, that is, sorry, on the cut. So let us learn various benefits we got from implementation of GST. First of all, cascading effect. Earlier, when we purchased goods from outside the state, we had to pay CST, Central Sales Tax. And when we sell these goods inside the state, we had to pay VAT. So what was charged on CST component also? So that was called cascading effect. Now it is removed. Then removal of check post. We cannot see check post now, as you were seeing earlier before implementation of GST. We will explain it better in e-way bill chapter. Then common classification mechanism. There is a HSN code for goods, SSC code for services. Then input tax credit. See, earlier we were not able to claim input tax credit on service tax with a VAT liability, or central excise duty input tax credit with the VAT liability, etc. But now it is available as all taxes were subsumed into GST. Then higher threshold. Now the normal states have the threshold limit of 20 lakhs and others have 10 lakhs, and again there are limits, okay, for composition tax payment, or persons who are dealing only in goods. So let us see in the registration chapter. Then reduction in overall tax burden. Where earlier the people had to pay excise duty, VAT, service tax. So now it is only one tax. So various tax burdens were eliminated. Then reduction in price for exports. These are called zero rated supplies, exports. Okay, GST is not applicable, or it is zero rate. Okay. Then gain for central and state governments, it is easy to administer. Okay, they will get more revenue. Now state governments can also collect revenue from the services. Earlier service tax collected by only central government, and central government can collect tax on goods, supply of goods. Earlier they had no right to, they were not collecting tax on goods. And simple and transparent system, that it will be simple, okay, more simple. But as of now, there are a lot of practical issues or complications, as it is implemented in last year only. So let us see more simple and transparent system it will be. And GST in India was implemented in 1st July 2017. So this date is very important. You want to remember that. The period before implementation of GST is called pre-GST scenario, and after GST it is post-GST scenario. Okay, so it is pre-GST and post-GST. Okay, and the discussion was started on 2000 by Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, our honorable previous Prime Minister of India, and various committees, decisions, everything was there. And again it was implemented on July 2017. Okay, so in this chapter we had seen what is tax, then what is the difference between direct tax and indirect tax, which are the taxes that levy subsumed into GST, and which are the taxes that is not subsumed into GST, and how the collection of GST is taken place, and what are the benefits of GST, and when GST was implemented in India. Hope it is clear to you. If you have more doubts, please ask us through LMS or such support system. Thank you very much.